Teaching children right from wrong, that is the topic of tonight's Byline. The educrats are at it again. They're trying to turn good into bad and bad into good. The latest example comes from Calgary, where 13-year-old Briar McLean helped stop a fellow student from getting stabbed during a fight. Rather than stand idly by, Briar did what he could to help another boy make sure he wasn't seriously or even fatally harmed.
He was bugging the other kid, and so the guy put him in a headlock, and then he pulled out his switch knife, his flip knife, and then I came in and pushed him into the wall.
Now, in a normal time, Briar would have been hailed as a hero. He saw a fellow student under attack. When it moved from a typical schoolyard fight into a knife attack, he did what he could. His reward, punishment and beratement from school officials.
I thought that I did something good, but then they come in and said that I did the wrong thing. They were yelling at me, or I felt that I was being treated unfairly, seeing as I could have just saved someone's life.
Only in the world of the educrats would this make sense. See, what they wanted Briar to do was not stop another student from getting stabbed, but rather leave the scene, run and find a teacher to help. How long would that have taken, and what could have happened in the knife fight while Briar was gone? Most certainly injury, possibly worse. Are school officials right to worry that Briar could have been hurt in trying to intervene? Absolutely. That's a reasonable concern. But the outcome of this incident was positive. Briar wasn't hurt. He stopped another student from being hurt. And the kid with the knife? Well, he's been suspended. So why was Briar punished as well then? It's because school policy says students can't intervene. They can't play the hero. Ever. They must find a teacher and report the incident. This is a perfect example of how when seconds count, police are only minutes away. In this case, it could have taken minutes to find a teacher and get them back to the scene, meaning plenty of time to cut, stab, and maim. This is the educrat way, though. This is the bureaucrat way. They want you to believe that you can't do anything without an expert, not even push a kid into a wall to stop a potentially vicious knife attack. It's the kind of mentality that allowed the attack on Lee Rigby to happen in broad daylight without anyone intervening in London, well, other than to take out their phones and video the attackers. Is that what we want here in Canada? It's definitely not what I want, and thankfully, it's not what Briar's mother wants.
We're helping them grow up to be soft individuals and not stick up for what's right. And then who's going to be our firemen and our policemen and our army guys, you know, or girls in the future? It's not, we can't teach them to grow up as weaklings.
Bravo to Briar's mother for teaching her son to do the right thing and for standing up for him. Doing what's right doesn't always mean following the rules, especially in a case like this. Briar McLean is a hero. He should be recognized as such. And that's the Byline. Joining me now is the hero himself. Briar McLean joins us direct from Calgary. And Briar, did you think before this all happened, did you think you'd be on TV with people calling you a hero?
No idea. I had no idea this would be happening.
Well, fill us in on some details because, we've told the story a little bit, but we want to hear it direct from you. When did this happen? You're in you're 13 years old. You're in grade 7 at Sir John A. Macdonald School in Calgary, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so when did all this happen? Monday, Tuesday, when?
It started it happened on Tuesday.
Okay. And so your whereabouts in the school, and describe what happened that led to you pushing the other kid against the wall.
I was in a literacy classroom, and I was in between two desks, and he was like annoying the other kid. So I was going to tell the teacher that he was annoying him because afterwards he put him in a headlock. But then I heard he has a knife. So I came up to him and I pushed him into the wall and turned him around, and there was no knife, so I think he dropped it. And then afterwards they found a knife in a different person's locker, so he hid the knife for him. Okay, so, and we're not talking, he didn't have a plastic knife or a butter knife or something like this. This was a serious event in your view, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a flip knife. Like, he flipped it up. I heard the click, but I didn't see the knife. Okay. Were you scared going forward with this? Because I've got a boy exactly your age, your grade. I would hope that he would do the same sort of thing, but were you scared because you heard the click and you thought, well, maybe he's got something? Or what was going through your mind? what was going through my mind was that I needed to help him and that I really didn't care what happened to me as long as I helped the other person.
Your mother made comments that, you know, with the school officials telling you you did the wrong thing and all of that, well, if we don't have kids like you, and kudos to you, I mean, this is great what you did in my view, but if we don't have kids like you, or we tell kids, no, you shouldn't do that, then we won't have the police officers and the firemen and the soldiers in the future. You have any of those thoughts in your mind in your future that that's where you wanted to be, or was this just instinct?
Well, I am wanting to be a police officer, but it was just instinct that I needed to help another person. I just really didn't care what happened to me. So
this happens, and you know, I remember I got hauled into the principal's office because another boy punched me in the head, and I got suspended. But you know, you saved the day on something. How shocked were you that you got hauled into the principal's office?
I was extremely shocked because I had no idea that I didn't think that I should be getting in trouble for this, seeing as I could have just prevented someone from being in the hospital that day.
So what did they do? You were did they just say, "Oh, Briar, you could have been hurt, don't do that," or was it more severe?
It was more severe than that. They said, "Briar, you could have been hurt. Somebody else could have been hurt. What if you got stabbed in the process when you pushed him to the ground? What if he fell on his own knife? What ifs and all that."
Well, what if you didn't act and the other boy was stabbed? That could have been serious as well. And they didn't see your point.
No, they didn't see my point at all. They didn't even understand that I could have saved his life and that it was a serious incident. They didn't understand that.
Okay, so the school wanted you to just run and find a teacher. You were in a classroom. Was there no teacher in the classroom, or was the teacher down the hall? How long would it have taken you to do what they wanted?
It would have taken me about 30 seconds to go to the teacher because she was across the classroom and I was right beside the incident. So I was closer and in a better point to act upon it.
Okay, still 30 seconds could have been enough time for someone to be hurt with a switch knife. So what are the other kids saying to you about this? We know the principal wasn't happy. You were berated in the office. Were you suspended at all?
I was not suspended. I was just kept there for the rest of the day.
All right. So what are the other kids saying to you? Are you getting lots of that boys, pats on the back, or a little shock, a little attention from the girls? What's happening?
Well, there's an attention from all people. I'm getting a lot of messages and Facebook statuses that are like, "Oh, good job, you did the right thing." But then there's just the teachers that are like, "No, you did the wrong thing." Like, they didn't even say that the fact that I shouldn't have helped. They said that, but that they didn't even say that it was a good thing that I did, like that on this circumstances, good job or something like that. They just said you shouldn't have done that. It was a bad idea.
What message do you think that sends? The message that the teachers are sending to you and the other students. What do you think that's saying to the people your age?
That courage is not permitted and that everyone needs to hide in a corner and wait for someone else to solve their problems.
It sounds like you've been taught some good lessons by your mother, that's for sure. Briar, thanks so much for coming in. Thanks for what you did in the school, and keep up with that courage.
Yeah, thank you.